Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Kentucky Congress is potentially adding more punishments to an animal abuse bill passed 16 years ago. And there was a rally at the Capitol for people wanting more LGBTQ rights.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calvi. The time is 5:30 on Thursday, February 22nd. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, everyone. It is, well, we'll just say nice outside from a temperature standpoint. I'm sure you would love to get back into the sunshine we had the last few days, right? Well, looks like we get some breaks of sunshine today, but, well, we got the rain coming in before we trend cooler for the weekend. Check it out this morning. Mid-30s at Grundy, but the rest of us are in the 50s. And yeah, Irvin at 60. The pinpoint Doppler radar shows the showers from a little while ago. They're out across West Virginia into extreme western portions of Virginia. And we're looking back to the west to see how our system continues to evolve here, generating more moisture, more rainfall, and that's coming into play late this afternoon and into this evening. So we'll get some breaks of sunshine today. It's going to be breezy, some of the wind gusts approaching 30 miles per hour at times. And yes, the rain arrives late to late afternoon, some heavier rains this evening and high in the lower 60s. How cool as we head into the weekend? We'll let you know. First Alert 7-day forecast in just a few moments. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. Police are still searching for Richie Sloan, a Knott County man who has been missing for months. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox has the latest on the investigation.
Police say 56-year-old Richie Sloan has been reported missing since mid-December.
Tips and leads that we have had come in, we followed up on, and unfortunately those have been unsuccessful at this point.
Gayhart says Sloan was last seen walking close to his home on Kentucky Highway 160 near Craig Court. Police are not currently suspecting foul play.
However, we're not ruling it out. It's still one of those things we don't have a lot to go off of, and we're just asking the public for their assistance.
Gayhart says several people have been notified to be looking out.
We've notified a broad spectrum of people, so we're hoping to get the word out as much as possible.
Gayhart says Sloan is not considered to be dangerous. He says to call state police if the Knott County man is seen.
So we just ask people to be vigilant, be aware of the people around them, take a good look at the picture, check your surroundings if you see this individual.
A warrant for Sloan's arrest had also been filed for public intoxication. In Knott County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Trooper Matt Gayhart also says police have determined that Sloan may suffer from mental health issues. Two Pulaski County men are sentenced in separate federal child pornography cases. 48-year-old Floyd Adams will spend 20 years in prison for receiving child porn. 41-year-old Jonathan Canada was sentenced to 28 years behind bars for the production of child pornography. You can find more about the investigations on WYMT.com. A Southern Kentucky man has been arrested after he was wanted by London police. Police say they had an outstanding warrant for 24-year-old Kylan Dwayne Hutton. Hutton is facing rape and sodomy charges. Hutton also had been wanted out of Whitley County for 2 counts of assault, criminal mischief, and possession of a firearm. In Whitley County, Williamsburg police arrested a man accused of burglarizing a church. Officers say Brandon Gonzalez tried to use a check he stole from Hanging Rock Baptist Church to buy items from Walmart. Church leaders say the building was damaged from the break-in. Gonzalez is now being held in the Whitley County Detention Center. 2 men are behind bars after police reportedly found drugs and guns in their possession in Letcher County. After noticing an SUV that was parked, one of the men got out of the SUV. KSP troopers conducted a search of the vehicle, finding loaded handguns along with approximately 3 grams of meth and a glass pipe. Richard Chad Foss and Chad Bentley both face multiple charges. They were taken to the Letcher County Jail. More than 24 people are facing charges in a major drug roundup. The arrests are part of a months-long investigation involving several law enforcement agencies. Laurel County Sheriff John Root says they have arrested 27 people so far. He adds by the time they have completed their investigation, he believes close to 40 people will be behind bars or possibly even more. We have more about this on our website at WYMT.com. Kentucky lawmakers advanced a bill yesterday that would strengthen an animal torture bill that was passed 16 years ago. House Bill 258 would add to the bill known as Romeo's Law. That deals with tougher penalties for the torture of a dog or a cat. Ethan, the dog, came to the House Judiciary Committee yesterday as his owner pushed for passage for a bill named for him. Ethan's owner, Jeff Calloway, wants Ethan's act passed to toughen animal torture laws to prevent the neglect and abuse leveled on him.
Ethan was intentionally restrained in a kennel that was way too small for him to stand or even move around. Because of not being able to move, Ethan developed pressure sores on his legs.
The bill passed with 16 yes votes, 1 voting no, and 1 passing. The president of Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College is retiring. In a news release from the college, Dr. Vic Adams, who has served SKCTC for nearly 30 years, is stepping down from his post. A couple of months ago, we reported Adams was on administrative leave. Hazard Community and Technical College President Dr. Jennifer Linden has been acting president since then. Activists filled the state capitol in Frankfort rallying for LGBTQ rights. It comes as Governor Beshear says more than a dozen anti-LGBTQ bills have been filed during this legislative session. Just one day before the rally, Senator Karen Berg filed Senate Bill 238, a bill that would undo much of the controversial Senate Bill 150, which passed last year.
There was one part in here that for me was honestly the single most hurtful part of SB 150. All I said was that if that child's guardian with a note from a medical provider asks that that child's pronouns be respected, the school will do their best to accommodate.
Senator Berg says Senate Bill 238 is really a parents' rights bill as well, adding it was important to her to be understanding of the concerns of all parents while also protecting all of Kentucky's children. United Auto Workers say the nearly 9,000 union members at Ford's Kentucky truck plant in Louisville will stay on the job. The union threatened that they would go on strike if local contract issues were not resolved. They say Ford failed to reach an agreement with UAW Local 862 more than 5 months after the contract deadline. The two sides were trying to come together on health and safety at the plant. Now Union President Todd Dunn says a tentative agreement has been reached. February is Black History Month, and one Perry County agency is taking the time to appreciate the history it's making in the present. WYMT's Madison Carmouche has more from the Perry County Sheriff's Office.
The Perry County Sheriff's Office is taking this Black History Month as a time to highlight the hard work and dedication of their Black deputies. Now, these 4 deputies are not the first Black deputies to serve the Perry County Sheriff's Office, but they do make history by being the most to work for the agency at one time. Sheriff Joe Engel says that when he became sheriff almost 6 years ago, his goal was to diversify the agency, not necessarily by going out and recruiting Black officers, but by encouraging people through representation.
I wanted the sheriff's office to look more like the community they represent. I wanted it to be more diversified, more females, more Blacks, more, people that represents. I didn't want it just be all white men. I want the office to look and represent like the people they serve.
While these 4 deputies are making history in the county just by serving their community, they say their goal is always to serve and protect. In Perry County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
The Grammy Award-winning Louisville Orchestra is gearing up for the last leg of their In Harmony, the Commonwealth Tour. The tour kicks off next week in Corbin. Jacob Gottlieb with the Louisville Orchestra says the tour will highlight the music Kentucky is known for, bluegrass, while championing living composers like Alex Burko. This is the second year in a row that the orchestra is bringing its show to every corner of the state to share world-class music with fellow Kentuckians.
Many of the places that we're visiting on this tour specifically maybe don't have access to an orchestra, or maybe folks have never seen an orchestra play before, or they don't have access to a lot of resources for musical education in their communities.
All of the concerts are free and open to the public. And when we return, directors and movie makers came together to save one of Hollywood's iconic theaters.
And the pinpoint Doppler radar became a little active on the overnight period. We've got some showers that are out to the east. We're tracking more rain for the afternoon as well. First Alert 7-day forecast is coming up in a few moments.